Three news stories for you. Firstly, Ethiopian government has issued a statement which is a message from the government for the people of Tigray. Ethiopian government's communication ministry released the statement a few hours ago. The statement is a message for the people of Tigray. What does Ethiopian government want from the people of Tigray? Will the people of Tigray listen to Ethiopian government? And secondly, viewers, Dina Mufti, Ethiopian Foreign Ministry spokesperson, held weekly press briefing a few hours ago. In the press briefing, he accused Tigray People Liberation Front of obstructing aid supplies to Tigray. Why is he accusing Tigray People Liberation Front of stopping aid supplies to Tigray? Before these two news stories, let me have a look at Somalia, little viewers, because we know that political tensions were going on between President Farmajo and PM Roble there for the last almost 2 weeks. President Farmajo suspended PM Roble 10 days ago. PM Roble told President Farmajo to leave Villa Somalia and to join his election campaign for the next term. So there were tensions between the President and the Prime Minister. Then some external actors intervened. We saw intervention of the US and some other players. Farmajo stepped back a little. Roble was not suspended. PM Roble called a meeting of National Consultative Council, NCC, a body which is monitoring the preparations leading to the presidential election, which has been delayed for almost a year. And the presidential election is the main point of disagreement between President Farmajo and regional governments, President Farmajo and opposition candidates. Now, the meeting is underway for the last 3 days. National Consultative Council, NCC's meeting. PM Roble is chairing this meeting. President of Somali regions are attending this meeting. Roble met with opposition presidential candidates too. In the meeting a few hours ago, PM Roble floated a proposal that he should be in charge of security forces. That security forces should report to him, not to President Farmajo. And due to this proposal, serious disagreements are being reported at the meeting, and some participants are threatening to leave the meeting. Among these participants is Lafta Garin, who is head of Southwest region of Somalia. He is seen as an ally of President Farmajo. So, Roble wants to be in charge of security as well, as he is steering the country towards the presidential election. He thinks that unless he is in charge of the security, he cannot steer the country towards free and independent presidential elections. But security forces, army reports to Farmajo. Now deadlock is there. What will regional governments do? Will they agree to Roble's proposal that Roble should be in charge of security? That remains to be seen. So political stalemate is still there. That is what has been happening in Somalia for almost a year. Conflicts between the PM and the president, between the president and the regions, between the president and the presidential candidates, between forces, among forces. That is what's happening. So far, no signs of any resolution of this conflict. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian government's communication ministry issued a statement a few hours ago. The statement is a message for the people of Tigray. What does Ethiopian government want from the people of Tigray? Ethiopian government wants from the people of Tigray to rise against Tigray People Vision Fund. In no unequivocal terms, in this statement, Ethiopian government is telling Tigrayans to rise against TPLF. Ethiopian government says that TPLF is throwing Tigrayans into the fire of war, and Tigrayans should rise against TPLF. Now, I have a few questions. Firstly, how will the people of Tigray hear this message of Ethiopian government? There is no internet in Tigray. Telephone lines are not working too. How will people of Tigray hear what Ethiopian government is proposing? Firstly. And secondly, which option are you providing the people of Tigray with? If they rise against TPLF, what will they do? Which option do the people of Tigray have? No federal departments are working in Tigray now. Federal forces are not deployed in Tigray now. Who will protect the people of Tigray if they rise against TPLF? Who will give them protection? You are just floating something, and you're not providing them with an alternative. People of Tigray need an alternative if you want them to rise against TPLF. Opposition parties, Salse-Voine, then Betona and Tigray Independence Party, TAP, these are not as significant political forces as TPLF is. So it's just a statement. I don't think that it can have any significant impact. If you want to make a political change happen in Tigray, you'll have to be on the ground in Tigray. Ethiopian government will have to be on the ground in Tigray. And you were on the ground in Tigray. From November 2020 till June 2021, Ethiopian government forces were in Tigray. They installed an interim setup. The interim setup remained under armed attacks by Tigray fighters, and several members of the interim setup, they were killed. So the alternative setup that was installed by Ethiopian government in Tigray, several members of that setup were killed. That is what I'm saying. You need to provide protection to the people of Tigray if you want an alternative to TPLF adopted by the people of Tigray. So far, it's just a statement for me. Lastly, viewers, Dina Mufti, Ethiopian Foreign Ministry spokesperson, I think an hour ago in a press briefing, accused TPLF of obstructing humanitarian aid supplies to Tigray. Dina Mufti says that the only route open for aid delivery to Tigray is under artillery strikes. He is referring to Abala, Makele Road, where there has been fighting going on, and Tigray forces were said to be carrying out artillery strikes on Abala. Two important points about this statement of Dina Mufti. Firstly, even before the start of fighting on Tigray-Afar border near Abala, no aid was entering Tigray. From the 15th of December till the 30th of December, no aid entered Tigray. Even before that, just a few trucks entered. So aid was not entering, aid was not being allowed to travel from Samra to Makele through Afar when there was no fighting in Abala. Secondly, I would say that yes, Tigray Fighters should ensure that this road remains open. They should not carry out any attacks on Abala on this road, Samra Makler, only road open, because it gives Ethiopian government with a pretext that it is Tigray government which is blocking aid delivery to Tigray. People of Tigray are in need of aid. We know that there is acute shortage of aid in acute shortage of food in Tigray, in hospitals, acute shortage of medical supplies. So people of Tigray do need aid. TPLF members, Tigray fighters should ensure the road remains open. They should not carry out any attacks towards this road, towards Abala. Thank you for watching.